Joanna. I just thought I'd share my testimony with everyone. So I've been a Christian for about 8 years now, and I was going to kind of what my life was like leading up to that and what brought me to that point of becoming a Christian. So growing up, I had no real interest in things of the Christian faith. I did attend Sunday school and Girls' Brigade and the Salvation Army for many years, but I never got saved through it. I did hear a lot of Bible stories and I did believe them to a degree, and I did believe that Jesus was a real person. I just didn't believe that he did the miraculous things that they were telling me that he did. It wasn't until I started working properly and I'd met someone who started to show me DVDs of things, and the one DVD that was shown was talking about the prophecies. And it's not just like the prophecies that had happened before now, it's the prophecies that had happened within the last century. So the Jewish people returning to their homeland in 1948 and the shekel returning into circulation. It wasn't until seeing that and seeing how things were still happening and I could see them happening that it really hit home that actually, hang on, this looks like it is true. And it really struck me as, okay, this makes sense. And so I thought if the Bible could be accurate in predicting those sort of things that were going to happen, then it must be accurate about the miraculous parts of Jesus' life, like his virgin birth and his resurrection. So I thought, well, okay, if they're 100% regarding prophecies that happened, and it must be true about things that are going to happen still. So like the tribulation events in the book of Revelation and the future reign of Christ on earth that will follow, I realised that this would potentially impact me and my life and where I would be going next. So I thought, okay, I looked into what it meant for me. So the Bible told me that I was a sinner, guilty before God, and needed saving from my sin and from judgment. And I realised that I had a desperate need for the forgiveness that only comes because Jesus died for me on the cross and then rose again from the dead. Since becoming a Christian, my life has changed. I mean, I'm not perfect. I mean, a lot of people can attest to the fact that I'm far from perfect. And there are times where you wouldn't think I was Christian, I'm not exactly joyful, I'm not happy all the time. But I have grown increasingly from that. If you compare my life from when I was a teenager, which my family can probably very much agree with, I was not a happy-go-lucky child, was a teenager especially. But I think my brother's made a few comments like in the past few years about how much I have changed, and he thinks it is for the better. My attitude and just my general demeanour has changed. So, and I don't see it. Like in myself, I look at things and I think, okay, I haven't really changed, but it's only people around me that have actually noticed it, and that is only through Christ in me that those changes have happened. He's done a work in my life and he's changed me, and it's not something I've done consciously, because before I was saved I'd heard a lot of things of like, when you become a Christian you've got to stop doing this, you've got to stop doing that, and you've got to start going this place and doing this thing this time, and that was quite daunting because I thought, I like my life, I don't want to change my life, so why would I want to all of a sudden just change the way I lived my life completely when I'm having fun is what I'm doing. But I didn't let that hold me back, and I did get saved. And after getting saved, those things, I didn't automatically stop. My life didn't like go from one day I'm this unhappy teenager who's not really bothered by anything to somebody who's like really happy-go-lucky and perfect, doesn't do anything wrong ever again. It was more of a slow process that I could not see happening. It was only as I look back past the years that I've noticed the changes, and I don't miss the things that I used to do. I thought I would, but my life has changed, my desires have changed, so it's not something that actually conscious for me, if that makes sense. But so, wait 1 second. So I did still have a few struggles with doubt when I became saved. So I was always told after getting saved that your salvation isn't something that is secure forever. You've got to keep hold of it, so you can lose it and you can walk away from it. And that terrified me. For a long time I wasn't living as I should as a Christian, because I kept thinking to myself, okay, I can lose my salvation, and if I can lose my salvation, me of all people, I am going to lose it. And then I'll think, okay, well, what if I've already lost it? Because yesterday I did this, and that's not what Christians are supposed to do. So it was a struggle, and it was a battle within myself to get myself to that point of, okay, realising that and looking at what the Bible has to say. So I looked into the Bible, and it was saying how salvation is a free gift of grace alone. But I kept trying to work to keep that gift, and that's not what you're supposed to do. But then I realised that once somebody is saved, they will never be lost. We can do nothing to gain our salvation, and we can do nothing to lose it. Many verses prove this point. So John 5:24 was particularly helpful. It says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that hears my word and believes on him that sent me has everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death to life." I had heard the words of Jesus, I had believed, and therefore the promise is that I had everlasting life. As well as that, there is another promise, that the one who believes shall not come into condemnation. And just to emphasise the point, that verse says I have passed from death to life, understanding that my place in heaven is guaranteed, that God has his word regarding that, God has given his word regarding that, has had a huge impact only on my life as a Christian, but has also freed me from a lot of doubt. The gospel itself is not something that is only for a select few, rather it is a message that is for everyone. John 6:47 says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believes on me has eternal life." Eternal life is a free gift that is offered on the basis of faith on or trust in the death of Christ for our sin and his rising again from the dead. So yeah, I'm grateful if you have made it to the end of this video and listened to everything I've had to say. And if you are watching this and you're not a Christian, I would like to invite you to consider what I've said in talking about the claims of what Christ has said, about the truth of his death and his resurrection, and accept the free gift of the free offer of eternal life by trusting in Christ and Christ alone for the forgiveness of sins and for eternal life. God bless.